Today is the 53rd job transfer day at the Min branch to Lamtheon, and it is also the day that Lamtheonhao, the young man who was transported to this world where strange beasts roam, has been waiting for. On the stage, the principal is seriously advising, later Min will randomly assign jobs based on your individual talents. Whether you transfer to a combat profession or a lifestyle profession in the future, you must contribute to the Hoa kingdom. The future of the Hoa kingdom is in your hands. Hearing the principal's words, the boy in the yellow shirt silently prayed, after 18 years of hard study, it's finally time to awaken. Give me a warrior profession, then I can join a guild and earn a salary even while doing nothing. The buzz-cut boy laughed at his friend's words. Do you think being a warrior is easy? You must know that the rate of transferring to a combat profession at our high school is only 50. At that moment, another boy in the group pointed his chin towards Lamtheonhao and mockingly said, "Look at him, it's almost time for the transfer and Lamtheonhao is still sleeping." The buzz-cut boy and his friend chimed in. He is the worst student in our school. Just transferring to a lifestyle profession would be like carrying a heavy burden. In my opinion, the weakest among the Beastmaster professions would suit him best. Lamtheonhao, who ranked last in Class 2 of Trungtan, acted as if he didn't hear and looked towards Minbai. Having crossed over here, I finally waited for the transfer, but I don't know what profession I will change to. While he was thinking, the buzz-cut boy approached and asked friendly, "Thinha, what is your target profession?" Of course, my goal is in-level talent or a hidden profession. Thinha honestly replied. The answer immediately received laughter. Did you all hear that? Ranking last and still dreaming of in-level talent with a hidden profession. Stop dreaming. In my opinion, even transferring to a lifestyle profession will be difficult. If I remember correctly, the last time your potential assessment result was level C, right? Lamtheonhao recalled that test and sighed deeply. Based on that evaluation, my life really is useless. But who says a wild chicken can't transform into a phoenix? If crossing over can happen, why can't there be another miracle? Forget it, I just hope to transfer to a good profession. 10 students from Class 2 of Trungtan Lamtheon went on stage for job transfer. Classmate Wangdong, please step up to the stage for the job transfer. Wangdong followed the instructions and stepped up before the test. He glanced back at Thinha thinking, that useless guy should just obediently watch me. After a while, the transfer process ended and Wangdong became a warrior with clever talent. Clever talent is also outstanding among ordinary people. I hope you will become a qualified warrior. Hurry to the Lamtheon Union Center to register. There will be professionals there to guide you on specialized knowledge. The cheerful female teacher handed the results slip to Wangdong. The two female students looked at Wangdong with admiration and sweetly said, "Wangdong is so handsome, please take me with you. Don't forget me when you go into the dungeon later." This Wangdong is really lucky. Being promoted to warrior is like getting a solid job. So envious, a male student spoke up as Wangdong stepped down like an idol waving to the fangirls. Not paying attention, he bumped into Thinha. Not only did he not apologize, but he also teased, "I didn't realize there was another person here. So it's our class useless Thinha, huh? This Wangdong usually causes trouble for me and now he's also been promoted to warrior. I guess I'm gonna suffer from now on," Thinha thought. Seeing him silent, several of Wangdong's lackeys surrounded him and criticized. "You bumped into our dong without apologizing, are you mute? I've always found you annoying with that scowling face all day long. Are you trying to scare someone? Alright, I'm in a good mood today. Don't let these useless guys ruin today's fun, it's a day worth celebrating. Today I'm treating Wangdong to drinks at the bar in town." After saying that, his lackeys made a few sarcastic remarks about Thinha and followed him away. How can someone as strong as him even be promoted to warrior? I wonder what I will be promoted to. Just as Thinha thought about this, the female teacher called his name. The next person will take the test. While Thinha's promotion process was taking place, a strange phenomenon occurred, leaving the crowd in shock. However, as soon as they knew the result, the students burst into laughter because Thinha ended up getting the job no one wanted. Summoner. Summoner is a job that becomes useless right after it's assigned. It's like being thrown into the gutter, right? Although summoner is a combat job, raising summoned creatures is incredibly expensive and the effectiveness is average. It really is a useless job. This Lum Thenha is doomed. I didn't expect to be assigned the job of summoner. It's even worse than a lifestyle job. I guess life will be tough from now on. Just as the students were mocking Thenha, a system panel suddenly appeared before him. Detected host awakening binding identity as Deep Abyss. Lord may randomly receive an SSS level innate skill. Every 10 levels will randomly activate an SSS level Deep Abyss innate skill. The system immediately receives an SSS level innate skill. If an SSS level innate skill is activated every 10 levels, then at level 100 won't there be 10 innate skills? Thinking this, Thenha held his breath in anticipation while his hand unconsciously reached out to receive the result from the female teacher who was drawing the SSS level innate skill. Congratulations, the host has received the SSS level innate skill Demonic Sacrifice. The Demonic Sacrifice limits the host's maximum life points and cannot be restored immediately, helping to summon upgradable items and demonize them, receiving divine power from hell. Summoned items can still be upgraded through combat and experience as usual after being demonized. A reminder, every 100 life points will help to permanently upgrade the summoned item by 1 level, deducting from the life points. The price seems quite hefty, but as a summoner, I don't need to fight directly in battle. I just need my summoned items to be strong enough. In the future, I just need to choose all equipment that increases life points. Currently, I have 1,000 life points. If I need to keep at least 100 points for myself, in other words, I could have upgraded the item to at least level 9 right from the start. I still can't be too reckless. I need to use it carefully. The female teacher, seeing Thenha silent, gently comforted him. Don't be too sad even if the profession is not useful. There are still many other paths in life. At that moment, Thenha's mind returned to reality. He looked at the female teacher and replied, "Thank you for your concern, teacher. I believe I will definitely create a world of my own." The female teacher hesitated a bit and said, "Having such thoughts is very good. It's just a pity that..." Lam Tianhao understood the teacher's implication, but that only motivated him more. Those who change to become summoners really are useless. But I, Lam Tianhao, will become the leader of summoners standing at the peak of this world. A few hours later at Lam Tianhao's home, as soon as he stepped inside, a girl anxiously asked, "You're back. How did your job change go? What profession is it?" "The summoner," Lam Tianhao replied. The girl was initially surprised, but quickly said, "It's okay, don't be sad. Next year it will be my turn to change jobs and I'll switch to mage to protect you." Lam Tianhao then noticed that the girl was only wrapped in a bath towel, causing his face to turn as red as a tomato. Quickly turning his head, he replied, "I'm a very powerful summoner. You don't need to worry. You just need to take good care of yourself." Just as Lam Tianhao was about to return to his room, he received a message notifying him of a gathering from his homeroom teacher. After all the awakened students in the class were present, the homeroom teacher began to speak. "This time our class job change situation is not bad at all. 5 people in the class have changed to become warriors. 8 have changed to become mages. 11 have switched to support professions and 1 has changed to become a summoner." Wang Dong laughed upon hearing this, pointing at Thenha and deliberately speaking loudly so he could hear. "A useless guy has changed to a useless profession. It's really pointless. Having become a summoner means his life is over." A classmate sitting next to him replied, "Thenha, even though you're a bit annoyed inside, there's nothing you can do. You just have to sit there and take it." At this moment, the teacher continued, "Lam Tianhao's case is quite special. I have an introductory book on summoners here. It should help him." Thenha stepped up to the podium to receive the book. "Thenha, if you encounter any difficulties, just come back to find the teacher. Understood?" "All right, go back to your seats," the homeroom teacher said kindly. Thenha looked him the book in his hand and sighed inwardly. This book is covered in dust. It seems that being a summoner really is a job at the bottom of society. This time everyone was called back because the school wanted to collect specific data from those who successfully changed their profession. All classes that changed professions will be present, so don't embarrass the teacher. Okay. After the homeroom teacher's reminder, the whole class went outside to prepare for the career test. A male student volunteered to be the first to test. After using his ability, the strength measuring machine displayed a score of 73. Not bad. 73 points is quite a good talent. You have to keep trying from now on. The next person was Wang Dong. Very good. 89 points is a very high score. You're probably the top of this class. Keep making efforts. The principal praised and then called the next person Lam Thinha. Lam Thinha took his weapon and stepped forward, recalling the basic summoning skills mentioned in the book the teacher had just given. But he had not tried them yet. He had to take the risk. While there's water, there's still a chance. Thinking this, Thinha pulled out the book and mumbled a spell. A whirlwind then appeared, causing everyone to doubt, could Lam Thinha really summon something? What on earth is that? After a while, as the dust settled, a cute slim cheese stick appeared, making the crowd burst into laughter. After all the fuss, it turned out to be just a cute slim. How can we defeat monsters like this? Defeat monsters? It's a miracle if it doesn't get eaten by monsters. What can a slim do? At most, it can mop the floor. Right. Summon slim. Primary level 1 health, 500 attack power, 9 skills, slime spit, corrosion, strong slime spit, no equipment for summon creatures. Thinha read the information and glared at the slim, happily clinging to his leg. A pure white summoned creature that attacks with only 9 points is no different from scratching an itch myself. At this moment, the homeroom teacher spoke up. Everyone stop being noisy and look at the test scores. As expected, Thinha's test score was a mere 9 points. The homeroom teacher cleared his throat and patted Thinha on the shoulder. Thinha, 9 points is still a score, but don't be too sad. Thinha remained silent for a moment and then said, "Teacher, please let me try again." The homeroom teacher hesitated a bit but kindly gave Thinha another chance. It was time to try his innate skills. Thinking to himself, Thinha operated on the system using 200 sacrifice points to demonize the summoned creature and reduce the life limit from 1000 to 800. The cute slim cheese stick then transformed into a demonized slim. Demonized slim. Primary level 3 health, 1200 damage, 120 skills, slime jump, corrosion, slime jump, spit, demonic dance, no equipment for summon creatures. Preparation was complete and Thinha commanded the demonized slim to launch an attack. As soon as slim collided with the power meter, the number on the screen changed from 9 to 120. The result instantly left everyone dumbfounded. 120 points. No way could this last place guy be that impressive. Am I seeing things? Dong only scored 89 points yet. This last place guy surpassed 100. How is that possible? How could this loser score higher than me? I remember back in the day, the war god Hua Sia Fong Chong Yun only scored 101 points on the test. How could Lam Thinha achieve 120 points? Thinking of this, Wang Dong immediately came up with a reason. Lam Thinha must have taken the test twice. Could it be that he did something with the equipment the second time? The other students started to murmur upon hearing this. That's right, he must have cheated. Right, teacher, just earlier he clearly scored only 9 points, yet when retested it turned into 120. How could that be? There must be foul play. Thinha said nothing, secretly replying in his heart, I did indeed play a trick, but I just used my innate skill on my slim. They do have a point. The homeroom teacher approached the power meter and discovered the display was malfunctioning. The teacher then loudly declared it was due to equipment failure. Lam Thinha truly did not cheat. Indeed, it was the machine that was broken. How could this loser surpass me? Wang Dong secretly felt relieved and then began to argue. Teacher, the machine is broken. How should Lam Thinha's score be calculated? 2 boys who were in his group chimed in. Of course it should be 9 points. The first test wasn't malfunctioning, we all clearly saw it was 9 points. That's right, I saw it too, it was clearly 9 points. Since the machine was broken, Lam Thinha's score this time should be cancelled. Retest next time, the homeroom teacher proposed, and Lam Thinha looked at him in shock. Isn't this just giving him another chance? The group allied with Wang Dong immediately protested. On what basis can it be cancelled? Clearly we all saw it, he only scored 9 points. That's right, homeroom teacher. You must be fair and objective, you can't cover for him. Alright, the teacher has his judgment. Due to the machine failure, today's test session is concluded. Including Lam Thinha and those who haven't tested yet, they will retest once the machine is repaired. He, a younger male student of Wang Dong, was about to protest when he caught Wang Dong's cold glare and immediately kept quiet. Just as Thinha stepped down, Wang Dong said, "Even if there's a retest, it's just trash. Wild chickens think they can become phoenixes, what a dream." After that, he said to the group of subordinates, "Let's go to Black Abyss Level 1, don't pay attention to this useless guy anymore." Black Abyss Level 1, if I remember correctly, is a dungeon for newcomers. It's just the right time to test my transformed Slim. Black Abyss Level 1 is not a bad choice, let's set off. Thinking of this, Thinha quickly left. A moment later, a technician checking the broken strength meter couldn't help but wonder, did a student break this machine? With this level of strength, could it be that the school has another genius? At the same time as Thinha just exited the school gate, he was stopped by an old man with white hair and beard. "Kid, I see you have extraordinary potential. Truly a promising seed to become a summoner. Are you calling me?" Thinha asked in confusion, feeling that the old man's words sounded somewhat familiar. "I have a high-quality staff for summoners. I'm selling it to you for 300 gold coins. Would you like to consider it?" Thinha's eyes widened, holding the old man's staff, 300 gold coins, for this broken wooden stick. "Are you robbing me? I felt a connection with you, so I'm selling it for just 300. But if someone else came, I wouldn't sell it for 3,000, the old man replied, and it really seems that a flow of power is emanating from this staff. In such a vast world, it's rare to find this kind of equipment even in a summoners association. Well, then I'll buy it. So the staff was officially sold. The difficult part is that Thinha only had 92 gold coins, so he had to take out his gold and bargain. "Can you lower it a bit to 0912 gold coins? The boss sees that you and I have a connection. Then I will temporarily take 92 gold coins from you as a deposit." As he spoke, the old man quickly snatched the gold bag from Thinha. "A deposit, of course. This 92 gold coins only ensures that I will not sell the staff to anyone else. If you want the staff, then you must go to Black Abyss Level 1 deep into the maze and bring back a treasure for me from there. This staff will belong to you." The old man quickly took out a promissory note, then grabbed Thinha's hand, rolling his finger on the note before he could react, leaving him with a debt feeling gloomy as he left. The old man was happily watching Thinha's back when suddenly, he heard a voice calling from behind. "Elder Fong, what are you doing here?" The homeroom teacher walked over to Elder Fong and continued. "Today, the testing machine broke. The test has been suspended. How about you go home early?" Elder Fong did not answer but pointed his chin towards Thinha, asking, "Do you know that student?" The homeroom teacher looked in the direction Elder Fong pointed and replied, "I know him. He is a student in my class. His name is Lam Thinha. He's truly a child with a difficult fate transitioning to become a summoner. The road ahead will surely be very challenging." "Indeed, the path ahead will be difficult," Elder Fong said with a meaningful smile. A moment later, at the entrance to the Dark Abyss Level 1, Hankook then Yuyan. "Is this the entrance to Dark Abyss Level 1? Dark Abyss Level 1, also known as Hankook then Yuyan, requires 35 participants. Level cap 110. If you enter above the level cap, you will be purged by the supervisor and the minimum team size must be 3. It seems soloing is not possible." Thinking of this, Thinha opened the rankings for Hankook then Yuyan. The current leader is Fong Truong Van. As long as you are on top of the rankings at the end of the month, you will receive a generous reward. The first place reward is a novice chest piece usable by all classes of gold quality, providing 30 armor, 20 magic resistance, and increasing the maximum health limit by 1 or 20 points. This yellow novice chest piece is considered solid equipment. The top-tier equipment in the early stages, but what attracts Thinha is that 120-point maximum health increase. It seems that this top-ranking position is indeed worth competing for. As a fan, while Thinha was monologuing, he heard a familiar mocking voice not far away. "Oh look, isn't that the guy who got 9 points in the test? What are you doing here? Don't tell me you're planning to enter Dark Abyss Level 1. Don't you take a look at your own strength? Can you even last 10 seconds in there? It's them again. Thinha sighed as he looked at Vong Dong and his two friends above them. At this moment the information displayed Vong Dong level 1 Holy Shield Warrior talent level C. Chu Dai Sun level 1 Earth Mage talent level E. Truong Van Phi level 1 Wood Mage talent level E. Take care of yourself, Thinha replied coldly. Truong Van Phi snorted, saying that to enter Dark Abyss the team must have at least 3 people. What are you being arrogant about first? See if you can actually enter. At this point Vong Dong raised his hand and shouted, a talent level C warrior, 2 talent level E mages, does anyone want to form a team? Thanks to the talent level C label, Vong Dong's call attracted attention. People rushed to gather around his team, clamoring to become a member of the team. Vong Dong chose 2 more people, then they prepared to enter Dark Abyss together. Just as they hadn't even entered, they saw a dismembered skeleton flying out from inside Dark Abyss. The 2 newly recruited young men were frightened by this scene. Truong Van Phi casually patted the shoulders of the 2 and reminded them, stay close, if you fall behind this will be your fate. Let's go. With Vong Dong's words his team entered Dark Abyss. Those guys with Vong Dong are not good news. The 2 of them are likely to struggle to survive. Although Thinha can be revived, the cost is not small. Therefore 1 life to clear the level is the best option. Thinha thought to himself. At this moment a male student pointed in shock at Thinha. Hey, look over there, she. Over there isn't class genius, look. Hurry over and ask to join their team. Another male student immediately replied, are you stupid? Is there something wrong with your eyes? Can't you see that's a summoner? What good isn't class talent? The male student sighed in disappointment. I thought I could cling to a big shot, never mind, I'll just wait a bit longer. Thinha looked at the information of the girl named Lee Tweet, level 1 profession song dancer, E-class talent. Thinha silently said E-class talent and yet a song dancer. What a pity, this profession needs to be at least class to be effective. Looking at her appearance, she must have been waiting for several days already. Then he decided to walk up to Lee Tweet and said, hello. May I ask, would you like to team up with me? Lee Tweet blushed, stammering, class talent? Summoner me? Really? Thinha smiled brightly, extending his hand to propose again. I want to compete, but I have no one to team up with. Are you willing to team up with me? Lee Tweet was a bit dazed, looking at Thinha's hand. And class talented summoner wants to compete? That's impossible. But a handsome guy like this, it would really be a shame to miss out. Thinking this, Lee Tweet reached out and shook hands with Thinha, saying, I agree. The system announced, team formation successful. Thinha spoke, then from now on we are teammates. I am Lum Thinha, a summoner. Hello, I am Lee Tweet, a song dancer. Thinha smiled and said, once we get inside, I'll take care of the monsters. You just need to focus on protecting yourself. Upon hearing this, Lee Tweet's eyes lit up. Her heart secretly exclaimed, is he concerned about me? Out loud she immediately assured, okay. I will protect myself well and not be a nuisance to you. Thinha nodded and said, alright, next we need to find 1 more person. Just then a loud commotion broke out. Goddess? Goddess, wait for me. Teeny goddess, please team up with me. I am a holy shield knight. I can take hits and protect you. Goddess, don't listen to him, come join our team. We have already defeated Black Abyss twice. There's no need for the goddess to intervene. Thinha curiously turned to look and discovered that the person surrounded by everyone was the school beauty Todienei, level 1 profession female druid, a class talent. As for Todienei, on the surface, she showed nothing, but internally she was already dissatisfied, secretly cursing a bunch of useless nuisances. Suddenly she noticed Thinha. Isn't that Lum Thinha the one infamous for being at the bottom of our school? Has he really switched to becoming a summoner? A summoner, that profession at the bottom of society. If I teamed up with him, then while thinking, Todienei walked towards Thinha. Thinha noticed her walking towards him and felt confused, wondering what was going on. Hopefully Todienei has walked up to Thinha. She tucked her hair behind her ear, smiled, pointed at him and said, Lum Thinha, I order you to let me join your team right now. The surrounding male students' eyes flared with anger looking at Thinha. They growled, "What did you say?" Thinha sweated nervously saying, "Me." Todianei pointed at his chest laughing and said, "Yes, it's you." Immediately heartbroken sounds echoed around from the male students. Why? Why does the goddess want to join the team of that useless summoner? Oh my god, my goddess, she's ruined. Thinha felt wronged, scratched his face and thought, I was forced, okay? How can this be blamed on me? Totianei also felt annoyed. She directly glared at them and shouted, "Don't you see that Eve already formed a team? Hurry up and get lost." Then she walked towards the gate, entered Hakyuyan and told the two, "Thinha, let's go into Tamngwin." Thinha suddenly spoke up. "Wait, can I ask you why you want to join our team?" Totianei stopped and glanced at him. "I want to compete for ranking, so I need 2 decorative items. If I can bring 2 people and still win first place, then no one will dare to look down on me again." Lutuet and Thinha were both stunned, thinking, 2 decorative items? Is she calling us useless? Totianei ignored their reactions, walked into the Hakyuyan gate and urged, "What are you standing there for? Hurry up and follow me." Thinha sighed, thinking that forming a team with a young lady like her was quite something. Lutuet looked at him and asked, "Just the 3 of us then?" Thinha walked toward the Hakyuyan gate and there wasn't anyone else suitable to join now. If there's danger, she can just withdraw from the fight and leave the team. Lutuet followed and said, "Okay, all right." A moment later, inside Hakyuyan, Totianei spoke, "So this is the inside of Hancock. The cold air is really thick." Lutuet exclaimed softly, "It's cold, too cold." Thinha also spoke, "It really is very cold. The warm clothes I bought before are useless." Lutuet suddenly remembered something. "Oh right, I know how to use low-level heat light." Saying that, she began to gently pluck the strings of the instrument in her hand. Immediately, 3 streams of golden light appeared enveloping the bodies of the 3. Totianei said, "Consider it a little benefit from you," Thinha urged. "Since we've decided to compete for the rankings, we should set off quickly. The cold has been resolved." The 3 moved faster and quickly encountered the first monster. They saw a pair of red eyes suddenly appear from the forest. A monster slowly walked out, coming into view of the 3. Middle Wild Wolf, level 1 health, 400 attack, power 21 agility, 200 defense, 1 skill, disease spread. The weak howls described the souls of animals imprisoned in Hancock Tumwin, unable to find peace, occupying the decaying bodies of common rank. Totianei stepped forward confidently. "This is a low-level monster in the Hancock Tumwin, the decaying wild wolf. Just in time for me to practice a bit." With that, she used the skill Beast Transformation Cat Spirit. Thinha thought in surprise, "Beast Transformation, is this the female druid?" At this moment, Totianei moved her entire body like an arrow shooting towards the decaying wild wolf, and used her sharp claws to continuously attack 3 times, quickly taking down the target. Thinha thought to himself, increasing damage seems like her attack has a bleeding effect. Lee Tweed exclaimed, "So impressive." The system announced, "Decaying Wild Wolf X, 20 gold per set, Wolf Teeth X, 20 gold per set." Totianei looked at Lee Tweed and said, "These are for you. Consider it a thank you for helping me activate the warmth light earlier. I don't like being in debt to others." Lee Tweed replied with a smile, No need to be polite." Totianei continued on and urged, "All right, let's keep moving, hurry up, follow me." Lee Tweed immediately followed while Thinha paused for a moment, and looked at the body of the decaying wild wolf as if deep in thought. After a while, the 3 encountered 3 decaying wild wolves. Totianei repeated her previous tactic, quickly dealing with the beasts. But this time her arm had been scratched by one of the decaying wild wolves, leaving a wound. Totianei thought to herself, handling 3 at once is still a bit difficult. No, I must win first place. Lee Tweed asked with concern, "You've been hurt, are you okay?" "I will cast a low-level life recovery spell. It'll heal you now." Totianei said, "With your low-level skill you can't recover much health. Never mind, just save your mana." With that, Totianyi took out a healing potion and drank it. Li Tweed felt a bit down seeing this, but fortunately Thinha came over and patted her shoulder to comfort her. The three continued forward. After a while moving, Totianyi unexpectedly stepped on a formation on the ground, triggering it. She immediately realized something was off and looked around cautiously. A second later, she noticed a large object about to fall on her head, so she jumped back to dodge it. Elite Decaying Wild Wolf. Level 4. Health 600. Attack 56. Agility 100. Defense 5. Skills Smash Decay. Smell Light Drain. Devour. Description. The decaying carcass nurtures the decaying wild wolf. Although the brain has nearly rotted away, it will spare no effort to stop intruders of elite level. Totianyi frowned and thought, I didn't expect to encounter an elite monster. This is troublesome. Li Tweed spoke up. This is an elite monster. Why is it appearing here? Thinha speculated. Perhaps it's because Totianyi has killed too many decaying wild wolves, which has led to the appearance of this elite monster right now. The elite decaying wild wolf suddenly charged at Totianyi and swung its weapon directly at her body. Totianyi was startled, silently exclaiming, It's over. The speed was too fast, then she was knocked back. Her body slammed hard against a large rock and she temporarily lost consciousness. The wild wolf elite saw Totianyi and raised its weapon. Li Tweed quickly tugged at Thinha's sleeve and asked, What should we do? Hurry and save her. Thinha knew he had to take action, so he immediately summoned the Demon Slim and ordered it to rush to save Totianyi from the Wild Wolf Elite's powerful attack. Demon Slim level 3 life 1200 attack 120 agility 100 defense and corrosive skill strong slime spray. Demon Dance. Then Thinha handed Totianyi to Li Tweed and said, You take Totianyi to the side to heal. He'll handle this elite monster. Okay. Li Tweed replied and took Totianyi back. As for the Wild Wolf Elite, it had changed its target to Thinha and charged to attack. Seeing this, Thinha ordered Slim to use the slime spray skill. Slim, hearing the command, immediately jumped forward, shooting multiple slime bags at the Wild Wolf Elite. The Wild Wolf Elite did not dodge, only raised its hand to block and swung its weapon at the Demon Slim. Thinha saw this and ordered Slim to use the Demon Dance to evade. Its defense was too high, only 50 damage could be inflicted. He had to think of another way. While he was thinking, Thinha suddenly noticed that the skin on the Wild Wolf Elite that was in contact with Slim's slime showed signs of corrosion. The slime could dissolve its body. If so, then Slim should use the Demon Dance and strong corrosive slime to attack its ankle. Slim immediately followed Thinha's command and successfully injured the Wild Wolf Elite's leg, causing it to fall on the snow. Thinha happily thought it worked. Meanwhile, Totianyi under Li Tweed's healing efforts woke up and saw Thinha's fight. In her heart she thought, so strong back to Thinha. He discovered a weak point in the lower body of the Wild Wolf Elite compared to its upper body, so he ordered Slim to attack its lower body. Slim acted accordingly and Thinha continuously used the strong corrosive slime to attack the Wild Wolf Elite, especially its lower body. Unable to move, the Wild Wolf Elite could only passively take the hits. Its health quickly dropped to 0. System notification, you have defeated the Wild Wolf Elite, gained 120 experience points dropped. Wolf Hammer Wolf Fur x10 Wolf Teeth x10 level increased to level 2. Thinha was surprised, thinking he didn't expect to gain so much experience. Could it be because he defeated a higher level monster? Li Tweed helped Thinha up and said, so strong. He can defeat elite monsters in just one strike. Is the summoner that strong? Thinha replied. It's not that the summoner is strong, but Thinha is strong. In her heart, she thought, relying solely on his strength to defeat elite monsters. Whether it was intellect or judgment, he was terrifyingly strong. Suddenly, Thinha moved closer and asked her, Totianyi, how are you? Totianyi was a bit flustered, her face inexplicably turning slightly red. She quickly turned her head to the side and said, It's just a minor injury, don't make a big deal out of it. Li Tweed suggested, my healing spell is too slow, we need to take a break. Upon hearing that, Totianyi immediately opposed, no way, we are competing for the rankings, we can't rest. Li Tweed said, But though Tiny interrupted, I can still continue fighting, let's keep going, what are you staring at? I'm not the kind of person who's ungrateful like that. I'm preparing to sleep now, just pretend I didn't say anything. Thinha scratched his head, chuckled, then turned away softly, saying, this proud lady really talks one way and acts another. Behind him, though Tiny opened her eyes, watching Thinha's back. Over here, after reaching the cave entrance, Thinha mumbled, just finished fighting monsters and Eve leveled up to level 3. Now let's take a look at the attributes. Name Lum Thinha. Title Non-Professional Summoner. Level 3 Health. 1 200 Mana, 400 Attack, 40 Spirit, 100 Defense, 2 Agility, 55 Luck, 20 Talent, S-Level Demon Sacrifice. Skills, all equipment level 1 Summoner can protect summoned objects, increases all attributes of the summoned object. Summoned object Demon, Slim 1 on 2 summoning space. Thinha happily said, the attributes have increased all equipment. This skill is pretty nice, equivalent to a reinforcement. Adding 400 health points is just enough to level up Slim Demon to level 4. It seems that if I want to increase the health limit, I need to come up with another way. Summoned Thinha commanded. 400 health points have been sacrificed by him immediately. His health value dropped from 200 to 800. In exchange, Slim Demon has leveled up. Slim Demon level 7 health. 400 attack, 140 agility, 120 defense, 7 skills, corrosive slime, spewing slime, demon dance. Split, all attributes increased and also received a new skill split. Curious about the difference between the clone and the original, Thinha turned to Slim Ahoa and said with a smile, come here and try out my new skill. Upon hearing this, Slim Ahoa jumped to the empty space in front of Thinha and commanded Slim to use the splitting skill. A second later, Slim Ahoa had split its body into 2 identical Slim Ahoa. Thinha opened their information panel to examine it. Life was halved, agility increased, defense decreased, and he wondered how long they could maintain this. While speaking, Thinha looked at Slim Ahoa and saw a timer of 3 minutes displayed above its head. Thinha exclaimed, only 3 minutes left, what can we do in 3 minutes? At this moment a loud scream suddenly echoed inside the cave. Thinha's expression changed as he looked towards the cave entrance, silently shouting, what's going on? Not good, they're in danger. Thinha hurriedly ran into the cave and saw Totinhi and Letwheat facing off against a huge monster. Letwheat cried out in fear, don't come over here. Thinha immediately ordered, Slim, use full slime. Hearing this, Slim Ahoa shot a blob of slime at the monster, but it only dealt 25 points of damage. Thinha gasped and shouted, what? How can it only deal such little damage? He hurriedly examined the monster's information. Giant snow rabbit, level 8 health, 800 attack, 80 agility, 500 defense, 6. Description, a humanoid creature that is part rabbit with a rabbit head and a human body moving on 2 legs. The giant snow rabbit lives year-round in icy regions, so it has a thick fur coat that can withstand basic attacks. Thinha quietly said, I didn't expect it to be a level 8 monster, this time we are in big trouble. Letwheat fearfully spoke up, level 8, we're definitely doomed. Totingi gritted her teeth and thought, with a 6-level difference like this we can't possibly win. At this moment, the giant snow rabbit roared and charged towards the newcomer attackers Slim Ahoa and Thinha. Seeing this, Totingi screamed in panic to remind Lamthian how be careful. Thinha frowned and snorted, saying, it's just a rabbit. Then he ordered Slim Ahoa to shoot slime at the charging giant snow rabbit repeatedly, but it skillfully dodged. A second later, the giant snow rabbit appeared right next to Slim Ahoa and kicked it far away. Not stopping there, the giant snow rabbit used its superior speed to chase after Slim Ahoa and kicked it away once more. Thus Slim Ahoa became like a toy, continuously kicked back and forth by the giant snow rabbit. Thinha saw that it was not good and immediately commanded, Slim, retreat now, use Devil's Dance and strong corrosive slime. Upon hearing this, Slim Ahoa immediately used Devil's Dance, evading the giant snow rabbit's attack, and ran towards Thinha. At the same time, it did not forget to release strong corrosive fluid, creating a long corrosive path on the ground. However, the giant snow rabbit was extremely clever. It used a series of jumps to avoid the corrosive fluid on the ground and continued to chase after the slime. Lethiot exclaimed in amazement, "This rabbit is really good at dodging. What in the world is this? Why is its speed so fast?" To Thien he said seriously, "That is one of the most troublesome monsters in Hancock. The giant snow rabbit has already taken down many teams, but clearly we didn't invade its territory. I wonder why it's attacking us?" Lethiot asked. "But all of Slime's attacks have been dodged. Should we rush in to help?" As for Thenhaw, he stared at the skilled demonic dance, which was still on cooldown, feeling uneasy, and urgently called for Slime to quickly return. However, the giant snow rabbit, with its superior agility, caught up to Slime and repeatedly struck it, causing it to collapse on the ground. Seeing this, Lethiot anxiously ran forward and said, "No, I have to go help." To Thien he hurriedly shouted, "Lethiot, wait," but Lethiot did not listen. She picked up a rock, threw it at the giant snow rabbit's head and shouted, "You silly rabbit, if you're brave, come chase me." This move didn't inflict any damage but successfully angered the giant snow rabbit. It ignored Slime and stood up, walking towards Lethiot. Seeing this, Lethiot screamed in fear, instinctively reaching into her bag, pulling out a carrot and throwing it at the giant snow rabbit while yelling, "Don't come over here." Then something surprising happened. The giant snow rabbit ignored Lethiot and stared at the carrot flying towards it. A second later, it opened its mouth to eat the carrot with a delighted expression. This scene left the three of them, Thenhaw, wide-eyed and speechless. Turns out this snow rabbit was hungry. "Lethiot, why did you bring carrots with you?" "Well, I brought them as rations for the group." At this moment, the giant snow rabbit looked towards Lethiot. Lethiot fearfully took out carrots and threw them at it, shouting, "It's coming again." The giant snow rabbit happily took each carrot into its mouth. Seeing the situation, Thenhaw frowned slightly. "The carrots are about to be eaten up. We have to quickly lure Thothiot to eliminate it." Thinking of this, he immediately spoke up, "Lethiot, throw your bag to Totinhai quickly." Lethiot heard this and immediately threw the carrot bag to Totinhai. Totinhai was stunned and pointed at herself, asking me. Then she reflexively caught the carrot bag. The giant snow rabbit immediately shifted its attention to her and charged. Seeing this, Lethiot entered a half-beast state. She jumped away from the giant snow rabbit's pounce and asked, "Lamthian, what are you doing?" Thenhaw replied with a smile, "Of course, dealing with it." A moment later, Totinhai dodged another pounce from the giant snow rabbit and exclaimed, "So fast. Lamthian, are you done yet?" Thenhaw pointed to the cave wall and shouted, "Lure it in there." Totinhai laughed and said, "So that's it, I understand now." Then she ran towards the back cave wall with the giant snow rabbit closely pursuing her. Just as she reached the cave wall, Totinhai timed it perfectly, suddenly changing direction to the side, while the giant snow rabbit crashed hard into the cave wall, creating a strong shockwave that caused many large rocks from the cave ceiling to fall, hitting its head and temporarily stunning it. Taking this opportunity, Thenhaw immediately shouted, "Yes, it fell for the trap. Slim, it's your turn now." Using the splitting and slime spray skill, upon hearing this, Duamahoa immediately charged at the giant snow rabbit, instantly splitting into two, continuously spraying slime at the giant snow rabbit that had lost its ability to evade. The system announced the destruction of the giant snow rabbit, gaining 200 experience points, still needing 100 experience points to level up. Following this, Thenhaw breathed a sigh of relief, thinking, "It's done. Just an 8-level snow rabbit yet." Slim struggled so much. During the fight, Slim's skills were mainly area damage, so when facing a single enemy, the effectiveness was too weak. "If we encounter a situation like today again," then Letwheat spoke up. "Finally took down that snow rabbit. I thought I was done for." Lumpthian was crying while Totinhi angrily looked at Thenhaw and scolded, "Lumpthian, did you dare to let me be the bait?" Thenhaw scratched his head and said with a smile, "Sorry, but among everyone here, only your speed could avoid that rabbit." Totinhi's face turned pink and said, "Well, if you can talk like that, I can accept it for now." Then she looked at Letwheat and scolded, "It's all your fault for bringing carrots into the depths of the abyss, causing us to be chased by rabbits." Letwheat softly said, "I just wanted to bring some rations for the group." Totinhi replied, "Who wants to nibble on carrots? Put all the carrots into the storage space for me right now." Thenhaw suddenly spoke up, "Wait, Defeating one giant snow rabbit gives us 120 experience points, which is the most among all the monsters we've encountered so far. If we can lure the snow rabbit too, we will be able to level up at the fastest rate. The condition to pass the Hankaktumuen is to defeat the level 10 boss of the Abyss. To defeat the boss, team members must be at least level 4. Right now we are level 3, level 2, level 2. To reach level 4 we need to defeat at least 5 more snow rabbits. Letwheat worriedly asked, but we barely managed to handle one just now. If we lure more, will we be okay? Thenha laughed and replied, don't worry. Last time we were the prey, but this time it's our turn to be the hunters. Totinyi spoke up, I agree, this young lady still has to climb the rankings, so I don't have time to go looking for each monster to fight. Now the monsters are coming to us, isn't that convenient? Let's start planning quickly a little later. The three of them placed a carrot at the cave entrance and hid behind a nearby large rock, patiently waiting. Soon a giant snow rabbit approached, staring intently at the carrot and crawling over. The three hiding behind the large rock saw this and their eyes lit up. Then they rushed out shouting, success, we got you. After 3 counts, the levels of the three changed significantly. Thenha level 5, Totinyi and Letwheat level 4. Thenha exclaimed, finally leveled up. We have only been here for 5 hours and already reached level 4, that's fast. Letwheat marveled. Totinyi nodded in agreement. It really is fast. I remember Fong Trungvan, the top player, also took 8 hours to get through. Letwheat cheerfully said, in other words, can't we break the record of the top player? Totinyi laughed and said, it's not that simple, you know. Do you think the boss is easy? Thenha seriously stated, indeed. According to the guidelines, the boss is the Duthi leader who can control wild wolves and Duthi to attack. The difficulty is not high, but it will be a tiring battle. With our current team composition, it might take us 2 hours to finish. Letwheat asked, so what should we do now? Totinyi replied, for now, let's take a break and adjust our state to be in top shape. Thenha also agreed, saying we should rest for half an hour first. Later, you decided to use the blood sacrifice skill and your blood amount immediately dropped from 100 to 800. Thenha thought to himself that the maximum blood increased less and less after each level up, so he needed to find ways to improve after going outside. Slimma Transformation's information panel also changed. Slimma Transformation level 9 Vitality 1600 Attack 150 Agility 130 Defense 9 Strong Corrosive Skill Spray Liquid Dance of the Demon Division. Hopefully, the upcoming boss battle won't be too difficult. Suddenly, a loud noise outside the cave startled the three of them. What's going on? The three exclaimed in unison and immediately ran outside to check. When they reached the cave entrance, they discovered that the commotion was caused by a boss. The hidden level 10 unicorn boss with 1500 life, 120 attack, 300 agility. 10 defense and skills like horn thrust, crushing claws and falling meteorite, describing a pure and noble creature. The guardian divine beast sleeps deep in the abyss. Its mission is to protect the beings within its territory from being invaded. When the life force in the territory weakens, it will appear to drive away intruders, bringing new life. Tianhao spoke up, I didn't expect it to be a unicorn. I didn't expect to encounter a hidden boss. My luck is really not bad. However, its attributes are much stronger than the leader of the demon. Just then, Slim Ma Transformation suddenly jumped forward and let out a warning-like cry. However, the unicorn boss paid no attention. Only its eyes lit up and looked towards the three. Tianhao a second later, his eyes appeared to spiral as if hypnotized slowly, walking forward while whispering, so beautiful. Slim Ma Transformation saw this and cried out again, but it had no effect. Tianhao continued to walk forward, so Slim Ma Transformation took the risk and bit Tianhao. That hurts? Tianhao exclaimed and his gaze returned to normal. He looked at Slim Ma Transformation and asked in confusion, why did you bite me? Slim Ma Transformation let out a cry and pointed towards the two people Lai Tuet and Tu Tianyi. Tianhao turned to look and saw that the two of them were also mesmerized like himself. What was even more dangerous was that they were just one step away from the edge of the abyss. Just as the two were about to take the last step down, Tianhao managed to react and yelled, be careful. He rushed over to grab the waists of the two and hid behind a large rock, preventing them from being mesmerized by the unicorn boss again. Behind the rock, Lai Tuet and Tu Tianyi had also regained their senses. Tu Tianyi spoke up. "It's the hidden boss of Hancock Tam Yuan." "I can't believe the unicorn appeared here," Lai Tuet curiously asked. "Isn't the boss of Hancock Tam Yuan the leader of the demon? How did it become a unicorn?" Tian Hao peeked out to keep watch and said, "The unicorn is a guardian beast. It must be because we eliminated too many snow rabbits that it awakened." Lai Tuet asked again, "But we have eliminated a lot of wild wolves and demons before without any issues. Is it because they are not living beings?" Tu Tianyi responded, "That's right, we originally just needed to follow the strategy of defeating the small monsters along the way, then reach Xin Yuan, defeat the final boss leader Du Ti, and that would allow us to pass the level. But unexpectedly, we accidentally triggered the hidden boss. Its attributes are much higher than the leader Du Ti, not just one level. We might be completely wiped out here." Li Shui, hearing this, became scared, crying and saying, "I don't want to die yet, can we run away?" Tian Hao spoke up, "Running away is not possible. We have defeated so many monsters and we left traces in the snow as well." Li Shui bowed her head in despair and said, "It's all my fault for bringing the carrots. If I had known, we should have just dealt with Du Ti from the start. We've encountered the hidden boss, we will definitely die here." Tian Hao placed his hand on her shoulder and said, "What are you saying? Thanks to you, our time to pass the level is even faster than the record." After that, he turned around and stood up to continue speaking. "That's right, as long as we defeat the boss, we can pass the level. There is still a hidden boss, I won't let you get hurt." Du Tianyi also stood up and said, "Yeah, it's just a unicorn, why would this young lady be scared? You two don't hold me back." Li Shui felt touched seeing the two of them and also stood up to laugh and say, "Thank you both." Just then, the unicorn boss suddenly opened its mouth and roared loudly. Tian Hao exclaimed, "It has found us." Then the unicorn boss jumped over the cliff and used its horn attack straight towards the large rock where Tian Hao and the others were hiding. Seeing this, Tian Hao shouted, "Spread out." Hearing this, everyone immediately complied, avoiding the large rock. A second later, the large rock was shattered into many pieces by the unicorn's attack. Then it immediately used the skill Calm Spirit Melody. From the horn on its forehead, sound waves formed and spread towards the three of Tian Hao. Tian Hao, in pain, covered his ears and shouted, "Li Shui." Li Tuet understood and began to pluck the strings of the instrument in her hands. The system announced, "Chant the narrative of the sage Tianhua. Resist the sleep spell, weaken the war march of the war. God increase damage." The sound of the instrument overpowered the sound waves of the unicorn, which made it very angry. It immediately roared, using the skill Shredding Claw to charge at Li Tuet to attack her. Li Tuet screamed in panic, blinking as she saw the incoming attack. Luckily for her, just as the sharp horn was about to stab her, Tu Tian Nhi appeared in a half-beast state, grabbing the unicorn's horn with one hand and delivering a knee strike to its neck. Then Tu Tian Nhi smirked and chose a direction to run away. The unicorn boss immediately shifted its target to her, chasing after her and stabbing with its horn. Jumping up high to evade, she laughed and said, "Yeah, the hidden boss is just like that." Not far away, Tianhua was still observing every detail of the boss, suddenly shouting loudly, "Tu Tian Nhi, be careful!" After being pierced by the unicorn's horn, Tu Tian Nhi fell to the ground. Li Tuet hurriedly ran over to catch her, frantically calling out, "Tu Tian Nhi, wake up. Slim, it's our turn to act now." Tianhua said while using the effect of the full support skill. Slim stats began to rise. The preparations were complete. Slim jumped high and spat corrosive slime onto the unicorn's back, causing it to cry out in pain. Li Tuet was so astonished by this scene that he exclaimed, "So strong. This is the hidden boss unicorn and it is actually being suppressed." Tianhua explained that what the unicorn fears the most is Slim's shadow split attack. It was stomped to dust by the unicorn, but the main body still survived. It jumped up high and charged at the unicorn's back, clinging tightly without letting go. The corrosive slime gradually seeped into the unicorn's body. At this time, A notification appeared due to receiving a critical hit. The unicorn entered a state of berserk. Tianhua quickly read this and ordered Slim to retreat. Slim withdrew from the unicorn's back, jumping back behind Tianhua. The unicorn was now motionless, only looking up at Tianhua as if wanting to say something. While Tianhua was confused about its intentions, he suddenly noticed the unicorn's body starting to bleed. Lum Tianhua, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and finish it off. As she spoke, Totin Nhi raised her claws and charged at the unicorn. I want to help too, Li Tweet said and rushed up with her. Wait, Tianhua quickly tried to stop them. Totin Nhi didn't listen and directly struck down the unicorn with a claw. However, in its dying moments, the unicorn let out a mournful cry, surprising her. A few seconds later, the crying gradually turned into deafening screams. A beam of light from the unicorn shot straight up to the sky. The ground shook and the stones in the cave began to crack and fall down. A huge rock was about to fall on Tianhua. He ordered Slim to directly devour the rock. In just a moment, the rock was corroded and Slim's swollen body gradually returned to normal. This is bad, this place is about to collapse. Everyone come to me quickly, Tianhua shouted loudly. Li Shui and Su Qing, who were sheltered by Slim, wondered what was happening and why everything around them was collapsing like this. The guardian beast of this area has died and the magical power is starting to dissipate. Tianhua speculated, glancing at the unicorn just in time to see a rock about to fall where it was lying, and quickly ordered Slim to use successful separation to protect the unicorn from being crushed by the rock. Everyone looked, the area has stopped collapsing, Li Shui said. Tianhua's group then moved closer to the unicorn. Wherever the unicorn's blood flowed, the land there began to sprout green grass. How did this happen? Su Qing couldn't help but be surprised. The blood of the poisonous horned beast has healing powers, so the land that comes into contact with its blood has begun to revive, Tianhua explained. At that moment, the head of the unicorn suddenly lifted. Get rid of it now, we need to get out of the abyss quickly. Su Qingni was about to take action when Tianhua stopped her. Wait, we can't destroy it yet, Tianhua said. Su Qingni replied impatiently, just now you stopped me from attacking it, Lin Tianhua. What do you mean? Li Shui spoke up, slow down. This poisonous horned beast seems to be a bit off. Su Qingni looked at Li Shui in surprise. Why are you saying the same thing? Tianhua looked at the unicorn feeling confused. What did it really want to express just now? The unicorn suddenly lunged its sharp horn, nearly injuring Li Shui, causing Su Qingni to become even more impatient. I can't wait any longer, we must eliminate it now. Wait, Lin Tianhua, I said we can't wait any longer. At that moment, the unicorn's belly suddenly bulged, and then a young unicorn was born. This boss has the ability of nirvana, so while it hasn't fully recovered, let me eliminate it. Su Qingni raised her sharp weapon, intending to physically attack the young unicorn. But Tianhua suddenly stood up to shield the young unicorn, causing her to be unable to retract her movement, and her claws scraped past Tianhua's face. Blood dripped onto the young unicorn's horn. What are you doing? Su Qingni shouted angrily. At the same time, a notification suddenly sounded. Contract successful. A beam of golden light flew straight towards Tianhua. At the same time, you receive a notification. Deep Abyss Hancock Young Unicorn Beast. Level 1 life points, 600 attack power, 15 agility, 100 defense, 2 skill, soul song, claw beast arrow. Just as I guessed, its reaction just now was indeed to protect the young one inside. I just didn't expect this young beast could form a contract. So Eve got my second summoned beast, Tianhua thought happily. What is this, the unicorn beast? Tianhua hadn't finished her sentence when she noticed the unicorn's body lighting up once again. The ground also began to crack. Tianhua pulled Li Tai to run, while turning her head to Tianhua shouting, "What are you still doing there? Run quickly." Tianhua sat down, stroking the unicorn, mumbling, "I've taken your little one, I'll take good care of it." The unicorn beast's body gradually faded and cracks began to appear on the ground. At this moment, Tianhua and his Slim suddenly noticed their surroundings. Suddenly an announcement sounded. You have defeated the Hancock Deep Abyss Unicorn Beast. Rewards dropped: a unicorn horn can forge a unicorn fur, a unicorn blood with poison. A doom through the Tamween Hancock Gate. The ground around the water grew louder. Jim panicked and shouted, "Chip." He was shocked to look at the system panel. Another new message popped up exclaiming, "Congratulations, you have broken the leaderboard record currently being updated." Tianhua frowned, his expression becoming more serious. In another place, Tiannhi and Li Thit saw him sitting there handling the situation. She shouted loudly, "Lum Tianhua, what are you doing? Hurry up here." At this moment, Tianhua finally snapped out of his train of thought, but his foot had sunk into the broken ground. He lost his balance and fell down with Slim. Tiannhi and Li Thit panicked. The ground shattered and he fell deeper. Suddenly, the system displayed a message. "Do you want to leave the instance?" Tianhua hesitating to press the button. Suddenly, a beam of blue light shifted him to another place. On this side, she and Li Thit were also enveloped by blue light. Tiannhi and her were slowly lifted and then transported to another location. Li Thit breathed a sigh of relief. "I thought I was going to die." Tianhua was teleported and collapsed to the ground. Li Thit and Tiannhi ran over. She called out, "Lam Tianhao." Tiannhi grabbed his collar. "Tianhao, calm down, stay calm." The crowd behind murmured, "Look everyone, look, there has been a change in the ranking board. Someone new has made it to the list." Another person added, "That's right, the ranking list hasn't been updated for a long time. I wonder who has made it to the board." The one holding the magic staff interrupted, "Isn't it just noise if you're at the top? Who could possibly break Feng Trungvan's record?" Suddenly someone pointed at the glowing gate. "Someone is coming out. This must be a record-breaking team. Let's go check it out." The crowd continued to discuss. One person asked loudly, "Did a team just come out? Could it be they broke the record?" The guy holding the staff replied with a smug face, "Are you out of your mind? That team was just pushed out. They must have been forced to leave. Definitely not them." The other person hesitantly replied, "Oh right, that makes sense. Let's hurry up. If we don't get there on time, we won't be able to cling to their legs." Tiannhi went crazy and shouted loudly, "What are you guys talking about?" Li Thuit frantically hugged her. "Sister Tiannhi, calm down, please calm down." Tianhao stood scared behind as the crowd surged towards the gate. Everyone wanted to see which team had broken the record. You also directed your gaze there when you saw that the team coming out of the gate was Wang Dong's team. You mumbled, "So it's them." He looked at Tianhao with a disdainful gaze and sneered, "Lam Tianhao, you came out too, huh?" Wang Dong and his group slowly approached you. "Oh, I didn't expect a useless guy like you to still be alive. You might have been forced to move right." Wang Dong glanced at Tiannhi and teased, "Isn't this the Flower Queen? Why is she on the same team with this useless guy?" Dyson chimed in, "That's right, instead let's go with our brother Dong. Our brother Dong has the warrior profession." She was furious. "Get lost, you filthy trash." Van Phi heard that, moved closer to Tiannhi and shouted, "You want respect but don't want it, huh?" He loudly stopped Van Phi, turning back to Tiannhi. He and she were stunned to hear this. Wang Dong leaned close to Tianhao, saying seriously, "Lam Tianhao, this time, have you clearly seen the difference between you and me?" You smirked. Tianhao scoffed. "Open your dog eyes wide and look closely who is actually further apart." He got angry, lunging to grab your shirt. "What did you say?" At this moment many announcement sounds rang out. The leaderboard had been updated, currently ranked number 1. Lam Tianhao heard this. Wang Dong's face darkened. Van Phi exclaimed in surprise, "What?" Dai Sun showed a clear surprise. Lam Tianhao took first place, seeing the situation starting to reverse. He released your collar and slowly stepped back. Tianhao smiled victoriously now. Everyone's system board showed, ranked number 1 Lam Tianhao. Someone shouted, "Everyone look over there, ranked number 1 is indeed Lam Tianhao." Another person exclaimed in astonishment, "The great god Fong Trungvan has dominated the rankings for 3 years, yet unexpectedly got pushed out." The guy who mocked you earlier changed his attitude. A new war god has appeared. Hurry and run to cling to the big leg. Dai-sun couldn't believe it. No way, that guy is useless, right? Ranked first is him. Wang Dong's face was about to lose all calm. Van Phi added, I know that guy cheated. That useless guy must have cheated. He got more and more intense. Last time during the school test he also cheated. So this list must have been tampered with by him too. That guy is just a cheating dog. The people around were half convinced. Cheating, huh? No way, I thought it was a new grandmaster appearing. Could it really be a cheater? Suddenly a voice without emotion rang out. This is the ranking of the Black Abyss dungeon. Then Phi turned around and shouted, I'm talking here? Who dares? Suddenly he paused, his expression gradually becoming unpleasant. The scene now focused on the group of people approaching, each exuding a strong aura. Emodong Vu level 9, Golden Sword Saint Master a level talent, Emodong Tweet level 8 Assassin a level talent, King Hang level 7 Light Mage B level talent, Bang X level B along with a warrior with B level talent. Tung Hu Lan level B Priest with B level talent. Everyone turned around. Look over there, isn't that the Emodong siblings? This is the first time Eve's seen real people stunning such an aura. No wonder Emodong is called the Golden Sword Saint Master. Duan Tin Hao also turned around, fascinated by the Emodong family. Oh, both have professional titles. This isn't simple. An analysis board appeared. Emodong Vu level 9 Golden Sword Saint Master a level talent. Emodong Tweet level 8 Golden Sword Saint Master a level talent. You wonder, but why are they appearing here like this? Unlike other families, we, the professionals of the clan, usually enter the Black Abyss through fixed teleportation gates. Tian Hao looked at Tin Yi and Li Tweet. However, there are also professionals from various clans coming to the square to form teams and choose ordinary people to enter the Black Abyss together. They approached where Tian Hao was standing. He was deep in thought. But they have already formed a team. Why are they appearing here now? Vung Dong stepped forward to introduce himself to Emodong Tweet. Hello Emodong, Miss, I am Vung Dong, a holy shield warrior with C-level talent. Without even glancing at him, she just walked past, leaving Vung Dong stunned. Vun Phi saw this and cursed. Dong, how dare you ignore him and go after that useless guy? Hey, can you see clearly my Dong is a holy shield warrior? Emodong Tweet sneered. In the holy shield warrior class, how can someone like this appear? Truly sad. He angrily shouted. What did she say? Vung Dong stopped Vun Phi, his face darkened, looking down on him. I'm fine, but I have to remind you all, he was once a very useless guy. To climb the rankings, he must have used some kind of trick. This time, consider yourself lucky. Next time, I'll show you what real strength is. Let's go. Tin Nhi was satisfied. Finally, you can leave. The barking dog is deafening. Dong Vu took off his gloves, his expression somewhat arrogant. You must be Lam Tian Hao, the one who refreshed the Black Abyss leaderboard, right? The guy extended his hand. Hello, I am Emodong Vu. Nice to meet you. Tian Hao was a bit surprised. They are looking for me. But Dong Tweet saw him in a daze and scolded him. Are you stupid or what? There, my brother is shaking hands with you. Dong Vu said affectionately. Stop, shout Tiet. Tian Hao was still stammering. Yes, hello. Tin Nhi stopped him from shaking hands with this guy. She shouted, are you blind? Can't you see he's with me? Tian Hao yelled, my hand. Dong approached, frowning. We are talking to him, please step aside. Tin Nhi grabbed his hand, pulling him away. You want to steal him from me? Who would want to waste their breath on you? Lam Tian Hao Tweet, let's go. Dong Tweet stepped forward. They're coming. I don't want to say much because we just want him. People around were discussing, what is this about? The Emodong family wants to kidnap a million summoner. He's not an ordinary summoner. He's the #1 summoner who broke the record at Black Abyss. What is it? No wonder Emodong must want to break the record too. So teaming up with him is the fastest way. You can't be stubborn, get out of my way. Tin Nhi thought she couldn't give Lam Tian Hao to them, or else the record she just set on the board would be pushed down. Wu Heng stepped in front of her, he shouted. Please step aside, we must take him today. People around kept talking. Don't hesitate anymore. Fighting against the Emodong family will be much easier, plus you'll get more resources. That's right, especially since there are 2 A rank and 3 B rank professionals. Lai Tuet was worried. Brother, you really want join their group, right? Tin Nhi shot him a glance. Deng Viu replied without modesty. I don't think you have the right to decide for him. So let's ask what he wants first. The guy grinned wickedly. We, the Golden Knight Holy Master Squad, respectfully invite you to join our team. May I ask what your opinion is? The system displayed Emodong Viu invites you to join the team. Accept or decline. Tien Hao hesitated between the 2 answers. Tin Nhi pointed at the guy and shouted, You don't need to say any more. Lam Tien Hao will not. Before she could finish, Tien Hao interrupted, All right. That answer surprised both her and Lai Tuet. What are you sure? All right. Tin Nhi couldn't believe it, asked again. What did you say? It sounded like thunder in her ears. Why is Deng Viu clapping in satisfaction? Wise choice, you are indeed a smart person, he was eager. Since that's the case, agree to join the team now. The system only appeared between yes and no. Wu Hang was stunned. X was trying to hold Tin Nhi back. She struggled and shouted, No, you can't agree with them. Deng Viu is cunning. Let's break new records together. This is a win-win situation, right? The determined finger pressed on the system board. This action left everyone present in shock. Deng Tuet shouted angrily. What does this mean? Tien Hao just calmly smiled. Don't be in such a hurry. If you want me to join everyone, that's fine. But first, you must agree to some of my requests. Being so angry, just letting a million summoners like you join is already a big favor. Don't be unreasonable. Tien Hao turned and walked away, refusing to negotiate any further. Well then, forget it. Deng Viu stopped him. Wait, what are your requests? You stopped, smiling cryptically. It's very simple, really. Just a few small conditions. Tien Hao turned around with a smirk. First, after entering the Black Abyss, everyone must follow my orders. Second, no one is allowed to compete for experience with me without my permission. Third, all loot from killing monsters belongs to me. That statement left the group on the other side stunned. Deng Tuet was annoyed. What are you all discussing? This is simply tyrannical terms. But since they needed help from others, I don't think these conditions are unreasonable. If they agree, it means that Emodong Ra will have to follow the orders of the summoner. But if they don't agree, then they won't be able to climb the ranks. This tactic Tien Hao was unshaken. So as long as you meet my conditions, I will immediately lead the team. Hu Lan strongly opposed. The captain can't agree to him. King Hang added. He clearly doesn't take us seriously. Just then Tin Nhi, standing next to Tien Hao, smirked triumphantly. She put her hands on her hips provocatively, asked, What can't accept it? Then if you have the skills, you climb the ranks yourselves. How dare you not give Emodong Ra some face? You have some guts. Everyone whispered. He has broken the record of Fong Qiantan. Even the mayor has to give way to him. Bang X lost patience and got angry. Let me teach this punk a lesson. However, Deng Viu stopped him. All right, don't forget our purpose for coming here today. He calmly said, if Mr. Lam has no intention of forming a team, then why bother to mock? The cold reply came, It's nothing, just not used to seeing other teams take advantage of their status to poach people. Deng Tweet was furious. You Deng Viu grit his teeth, warning, It's just a small Hankiktumween board. I advise you not to be too complacent. Be careful, being too happy can turn to sadness. He turned and commanded, Let's go. From behind, Tin Nhi eagerly said, Hurry up. Deng Tweet gritted her teeth, glaring back at Lam Tien How I remember you. Then you didn't care much about the earlier threat. Let's go, we just need to enter Black Abyss 2 more times. Tien How suddenly broke into a sweat. Why does it feel so creepy? Tin Nhi and Lai Tweet erupted in anger. You didn't intend to join them, right? So even we were tricked. I thought you were the kind of person who forgets. Favors is ungrateful and heartless. In the face of the raging anger, you panicked and raised your hands, pleading, "Everyone let me explain first." Tian Hao's shout echoed loudly in the quiet forest. A moment later, you were knocked down to the ground, your face bruised and battered. She sulked. "Let's first go replenish our supplies, then we'll regroup later." A notification board appeared showing the next recovery time, 012341. Tian Hao tried to sit up, muttering, "It hurts so much, I didn't expect them to be so cruel." He felt helpless with over an hour left until the next turn. "So let's first find a place to rest." Tian Hao strolled while checking the system board. The experience gained from defeating the rhinoceros beast helped him reach level 6. Looking at it, he muttered, "Oh right, I still don't know the specific ability of the rhinoceros. What is the beast I caught?" Tian Hao touched the system window. If that's the case, he shouted loudly, "So this is it." A huge magic circle appeared beneath Tian Hao's feet. He clasped his hands and shouted loudly, "Summoning spell for the single-horned beast. Come here." The dazzling magical light shone. Tian Hao covered his eyes with his hand. When the light faded, in front of him was a misty haze. Tian Hao panicked. "Where's my summoned beast?" It immediately the system board announced, "Summoning failed. Please confirm the status of the summoned creature." He wondered to himself, "What is going on?" The two choices appeared on the notification board. The summoned creature has not yet hatched. Do you want to confirm for it to hatch? Yes or no? Tian Hao clicked yes. Shortly after, the system displayed, "The egg is hatching, countdown until hatching 715958. He exclaimed, 3 days? So long." Tian Hao stroked the notification board. "Well, I guess I can only wait." He suddenly remembered something important. "Oh right, I still haven't checked the loot." The system displayed a familiar notification. "Open the reward from the Han Koktum Win Dungeon. To receive random equipment, materials, potions, etc. Are you sure you want to open it?" Tian Hao murmured. "Let's see what I can get." Immediately a letter appeared. He wondered, is it a package? When opened, he laughed. Turns out it's a gift bag recording historical memories. The system screen displayed, "Congratulations, you have received a historical gift bag from Han Koktum Win titled The Fastest Man." The phrase "the fastest man" shone brightly, making Tian Hao feel uneasy. "Hey, no way, what does this title mean? What does it mean to be the fastest man?" After a moment of confusion, he shook his head. Forget it. First, let's open this gift bag and see." The system displayed a message. "Open to receive random high-quality equipment, materials, potions, etc. from Black Abyss." Tian Hao confirmed to open it. 2 floating chests appeared in front of him. Tian Hao decided, "First, let's see what's inside the chests." After opening, the system displayed, "Name protective armor for all classes available. Life points plus 50 defense plus 1 a potion that doubles experience." The detail that he would receive 50 experience points after using these things made him quite pleased. Getting a set of luck-enhancing armor isn't bad. Tian Hao curiously looked into the glowing chest to see what was inside. Then the sound of the lock opening rang out. The chest popped open and Tian Hao's eyes widened in surprise. Information appeared before him. Name: Ice Crystal Necklace. Grade: Silver Magic. Attribute: plus 50. Spirit attribute: plus 10. Effect: when worn, it increases your resistance to ice by plus 5. Reduces the slowing effect of ice by 15%. The useful information left Tian Hao stunned, thinking to himself. So it dropped a silver grade equipment. He analyzed it piece by piece. Equipment levels are divided into 9 types. No grade: copper, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, divine, legendary, and god level. Tian Hao was delighted, not expecting to suddenly acquire such silver grade equipment. Truly the heavens want to help me. Without hesitation he raised his right hand and shouted, "Equip." A burst of light ignited and ethereal armor enveloped Tian Hao's body. He murmured, "Indeed there is armor, what a difference." Tian Hao's face was now full of confidence and determination. His sharp gaze directed forward. The personal information panel appeared clearly and his strength stat had increased significantly. Tian Hao looked in the status panel in front of him. His attributes had increased quite a bit and he even had 3 skill points. He decisively decided without needing to think, of course it's this one. Immediately a burst of red energy erupted from Tian Hao's body and the level up was complete. Armoring all creatures from level 1 to level 3. Full body armor at level 3. Protecting summoned creatures will consume less spirit power. Doubling the attributes of the summoned creatures for 200 seconds. He smiled, successfully leveling up, and in the future grinding dungeons wouldn't take much time. Not stopping there, Tian Hao continued to operate on the control panel next. He would level up Slim by 1 level. As soon as he completed the operation, the image of the demon Slim appeared along with its detailed information. Tian Hao quickly chose to sacrifice 100 points. That should be enough. What is this? He was surprised. Evolve. It can evolve. A clear notification appeared. Sacrifice 6 more levels to evolve. How does the evolution work? Is it receiving a new skill? I have to try it out. Tian Hao was confused with no description at all. You point your finger at the screen. Just directly advance and you'll know right away, no need to hesitate. Tian Hao presses the command button. A health bar of 1100 appears above him, but in an instant it quickly drops down to 500. At the same time, the system announces sacrifice successful, health limit reduced from 1100 to 500. You observe Slim gradually transforming. It's here it releases a powerful swirling force. Tian Hao struggles to endure the weight of the wind in that violent vortex. Tian Hao focuses on observing the powerful energy. The distorted and fierce parts of Slim's body gradually transform. You gasp in surprise, sweat dripping. In the Black Abyss Square, Tin Gi stands in front of the teleport gate, wondering. The gathering time has come. Where did that Lum Tian Hao run off to? Leetweet gasps. You can activate the team board to see that location. Tin Gi agrees. She says, right, let me check. A map of the area appears on the virtual screen. She stares at it. What is that Lum Tian Hao doing running into the forest? Tin Gi commands, go, let's find him. Both quickly leave the square. Leetweet hurriedly follows. Wait for me. Inside the forest, a fiery red source of energy erupts, engulfing the space. Tian Hao is confused. What is that? Suddenly from within the red light, a strange creature appears. Tilting its head in confusion, Chi, you blush heavens. Why are you not wearing anything? Slim looks at you with an incredibly innocent expression. Before Tian Hao can react, it suddenly rushes towards him. Chi, you are startled and step back. What are you doing? However, Slim continues to charge towards you without hesitation. Chi, Tian Hao panics. It jumps onto you. The impact causes both to tumble to the ground. Slim looks at Chi Tian Hao with sparkling eyes filled with delight. You blush like a tomato staring at it. It looks at Chi Tian Hao with pure innocence. Tian Hao grabs Slim's hand and yells, no matter what, I will not react to a summoned creature. It exclaims. Chi is too confused and impatient. Tian Hao raises his hand to open a virtual interface. He pulls out a set of clothes and says, here, take this. It stares blankly at the outfit. Then Slim's liquid body begins to wrap around the clothing. Moments later, it stands in front of Tian Hao. In a strange appearance, you sigh. This is for you to wear. Tian Hao offers another outfit, extending his hand. Come on. Tian Hao helplessly helps Slim put on a shirt. Do I look like a happy father? The system window appears. Defense, Cloud 01. You are surprised. A summoned creature can use professional equipment. Is it because it has a human form? I still haven't seen Slim's new attributes. Let me check. The system displays complete information about Slim. Its strength stats have increased significantly. A few other panels appear. Tian Hao is excited. Oh, there are 2 new skills. An AoE one is a single target attack skill. This corrosive acid rain must be a new skill after leveling up, while the demon hug is a progression skill. He looked at the skill panel and remarked, these 2 skills seem quite strong. They'll try them when I get the chance. Meanwhile, in another part of the forest, Tiannhi looked at the map wondering why Lam Tianhao had gone so deep in. She observed the location on the map where 3 red dots were clearly visible among the trees. Tiannhi urged Lu Tuet, "Let's go, he's right in front." She peeked out and said, "Found it." The scene before her made Tiannhi freeze in place. Tianhao was tightly hugging Slim. Lu Tuet gasped, "Found it, you almost made me die from exhaustion." She blushed, mouth agape in surprise. Tiannhi shouted angrily, "Lam Tianhao, what are you doing?" Tianhao noticed everyone asking why they were here. She gritted her teeth and shouted, "What's wrong? Are we bothering you while you're doing something good?" He was stunned, sweat pouring out from confusion. Tiannhi yelled throughout the forest, "Lam Tianhao, you lecherous guy." She calmed down. "How would I know Slim evolved? Who told you not to explain clearly?" Tianhao held his head crying, feeling wronged. "Did you give me a chance to speak?" Tianhao wondered, "But why did everyone come here?" And she explained, "The gathering time has come if we can't find you. How can we enter Hakyen?" He scratched his head awkwardly. I was resting so I didn't check the time." The interface displayed showing the time. 0 hours 0 minutes. The system displays Hankook then Yuyan. "Do you confirm you want to enter?" "Yes, no." Tianhao rolled his eyes, checking each person's equipment. Then his voice confidently rang out, "If everyone is here, then let's go in." Everyone replied in unison, Immediately after, a blinding light appeared, enveloping the 3 in the deep Hankook then Yuyan. On the ground, there were countless skeletons and corpses of deformed creatures covered in white snow. In the scene of death and desolation, Dong Vu's team had just finished a fierce battle. The man's hand still gripped the bloodied sword tightly. Dong Tuet with sharp eyes glanced around, then turned to Dong Vu. "You killed them all, but they still haven't shown up." Hearing that, Dong Vu raised the sword to the man's face, replying in a deep voice, his tone hoarse, "Looks like someone got there first." Dong Vu coldly surveyed the devastated scene, unable to hide his mixed feelings of anger and disappointment. "I didn't expect to be beaten to it by someone else." King Hang timidly stepped forward, voice full of worry. "Boss, what should we do now?" Bang X was furious, gritting his teeth and growling, "Who took it? We paid a high price to buy it back." Hearing that, King Hang immediately exploded, hitting Bang X and cursing, "Are you a pig? Not to mention that it's a 1,000-year divine beast. Moreover, this is our secret mission. Is it possible to drop the dagger? Hu Lan, can you make a guess? Could it have been taken by another guild first?" Dong Tweet, her face cold with anger, shouted loudly, "Shut up, everyone. Give me a bunch of fools, they must have been taken by the Tan Yun squads." Here, those newcomers without organization or guild are collectively called Tan Yun. Dong Tweet, tightening her grip on the glowing crystal, said coldly, "The other guilds don't have fragments, so they can't know that the death beast has awakened." She hesitated unless caught and defeated by other squads in the Black Abyss. Dong Vu also agreed, drawing his sword confidently. "Little Tweet is right, the Black Abyss is in turmoil. The divine beast has awakened earlier than expected. This matter aside from our golden holy master, the other guilds cannot know in advance." Saying this, he tightened his grip on the sword, his sharp gaze full of puzzlement, asking, "The death beast, the Black Abyss is in turmoil. The difficulty has increased. Who exactly defeated the divine beast?" Dong Tweet interjected from behind. "If it has been taken by someone else, the number of squads just leaving the Black Abyss is not many. Kill them all and reclaim the items." At that moment, an image of Tianhao flashed in her mind. She gritted her teeth, especially at that kid who didn't know the sky from the ground. Hearing this, Dong Vu quickly stopped his sister. "No, our golden holy master squad will not commit acts of slaughter against innocent people." He pondered for a moment, his gaze becoming more scrutinizing. Moreover, someone who can defeat a hidden boss must have formidable strength. A spark of doubt flickered in Dong Vu's mind. He looked up toward the distant horizon murmuring, "Could it be the summoner who just set the record?" Lam Tian Hao, upon hearing this name, Dong Tweet tightened her grip, her unwillingness clearly visible on her face. Kyo DM, with a voice full of dissatisfaction, interrupted. But after a brief and tense debate, Dong Viu quickly made the final decision, his tone authoritative. "Alright, let's report back first, then discuss later." Dong Tweet at this moment still felt wronged and angry, as if she could sense it through her sister's expression. Dong Viu shouted, "Let's go follow back to the guild." Despite her unwillingness, she still tried to swallow her anger and followed her brother. Soon after a loud crash rang out, Dong Vu's sword plunged straight into the cold ice floor. At this moment, a brilliant blue glow burst forth, creating a dazzling and mystical space-time portal. The entire Golden Holy Master Squad 01 bid farewell, stepped into the whirlpool of light, and then vanished. The first strike unleashed, carried with it power and might, knocking back the pack of wolves charging forward. After knocking the monsters away, Tin Nhi smirked her eyes, showing a mocking expression. Simply put, the wolves that were knocked away left behind thick purple smoke. Standing behind Tien Hao meticulously observed all developments, quietly assessing Tin Nhi. After leveling up a damage output of up to 400, truly lives up to the fighting profession. At this moment, Tin Nhi, with wolf blood on her hands, spoke challengingly. "Having many numbers is useless after all. Anyone that comes to this lady, I will kill it." Meanwhile, Tien Hao remained skeptical, wondering why there were more wolves. "Is it just a coincidence, seeing you standing there staring at the wolves?" Tin Nhi impatiently turned back and called out loudly, "Hey Lam, Tien Hao, hurry up. You are still lost in thoughts," nodding in response, telling yourself to wait for the next monster hunting point to see if the truth will be revealed. In the dark forest, where light seems unable to penetrate through the dense foliage, Tien Hao pondered, "Something is not right here." She seriously continued, "Show me how this lady clears this place." She replied with a very confused expression, "Okay." Tien Hao worriedly raised her voice to stop. "Wait a minute." The ground suddenly shook violently. "What's happening?" She spoke up to reassure everyone. "Calm down." Out of nowhere, a block of snow suddenly fell and a giant zombie appeared from within the snow. Behind Tien Hao, there was a pack of fierce wolves. The group of zombies surrounding them unexpectedly hid under the layer of snow. "This is the beast hunting formation." Tin Nhi could not believe what she was seeing. "Why are there so many?" Her face clearly showed fear. "What should we do?" Tien Hao calmly stated, "It's not like the aimless attacks before. Could it be that these monsters have evolved intelligence?" The zombie suddenly launched an attack and she immediately pulled Lu Tuet away from the unexpected strike. You shouted an order, "Get up and move around." Tien Hao emitted a red aura and his gaze gradually became cold and sharp. The zombie coldly pointed at him and the wolves began to charge towards Tien Hao. She and Lu Tuet hugged each other, both unable to hide the fear clearly visible on their faces. "It's the end," the wolf growled, revealing its sharp white teeth. "You weren't scared, just smirking, your hands swinging up, catching the chilling wind." The summoner had a delighted expression. Demon Exterminator Li Mo outside the teleportation gate. Everyone was shocked. What's going on? The ground shook violently, making it hard for them to stand. The ground was shaking and the man with a scared face looked up. "Look over there, there's movement at the entrance." A panic shout rang out, "Help." Everyone was frozen in place. "Oh my God! What's happening?" A boy lay on the ground, his mouth bleeding. "Black Abyss riot, it's a riot." The police officer was confused. "What are you talking about? What does Black Abyss riot mean?" Then the system panel suddenly displayed a notification. How did this happen? Looking back, all those who teleported out did not survive. The system simultaneously displayed, "Everyone is dead, all are dead." Suddenly, the teleportation gate opened and the things brought out were just skulls. The remaining people were terrified. There are so many more skeletons. The system displayed, how did it turn out like this? The difficulty of the black abyss has changed. The difficulty has turned into a nightmare. With the current difficulty, it is absolutely not something we can handle. Hurry and notify the market. Hakuyan has rioted. The police officer is scared. Tianhao stands among the pack of wolves, summoning the evil spirit to deal with Lai Mo. You wave your hand. A red beam of light appears. The wolf opens its mouth to attack you. Suddenly, the red light pierces through it, catching the attention of two zombies. The red beam penetrates the rocks, moving closer to the two zombies. It, with wide open eyes of fear. On the ground, countless dead wolves lay. They are in shock as a familiar figure appears above them. On Tianhao's body, the slim is clinging to his neck. Li Tuet and she both admire him. He is so strong, really impressive. Tianhao glances at everyone. Step aside for now. She grabs Li Tuet's hand and runs off in one go. Then it's up to you, do your best. Tin Nhi thinks to herself. Why do I feel like the strength of these monsters has increased? Can Lum Tianhao defeat them by himself? She excitedly shouts, Captain, go for it. Tianhao faces off against two massive zombies. Tianhao, with a confident expression, provokes. Come here, I will hit you so hard you won't even recognize it. They all rush to attack him. The wolf howls fiercely, adheres the command and lunges to attack. The wolf gets closer, but Tianhao still does not move. You command Sim to push them back. It then extends its tentacles to attack the wolves. The wolf's eyes are red and fierce, but in the end it still gets hit. Leetweet is anxious at the scene. What should we do now? The captain is being ambushed from both front and back. Tin Nhi closely observes the power of the Wolf King and the pack of gorilla wolves, which are completely on a different level. This time Lum Tianhao is in danger. His gaze is sharp as a knife, cold and unwavering. Sim hears the order to defend it, retracts its tentacles to guard. The wolves rush in to bite its tentacles. The two girls silently observe everything, but are filled with worry. Not good. The wolf bites tightly onto the tentacle and the blood is continuously decreasing uncontrollably. Minus 207 critical hits, minus 198 critical hits. Leetweet happily exclaims, look, they are losing blood. Great Sim's mucus is corrosive. This time the two wolf kings have no way out. The wolf's mouth opens wide. It gains momentum and then tears a piece off Sim, shocking Tin Nhi and Leetweet. No way. After tearing it apart it roars. Tianhao is tense. Interesting, she is confused. What do we do now? The defense has been torn apart. Hurry and continue to treat my wounds. Two zombies approach their massive bodies, shaking Leetweet, who is treating Tin Nhi. Be careful, they are coming this way. The wolves still try to attack him. Tianhao suddenly turns pale. They are coordinating with each other too. Indeed, they are intelligent. The wolves and the two zombies charge forward to attack. Be careful, Leetweet shouted loudly. She pulled Leetweet back. What are you doing? Are you crazy? But what should Lam Tianhao do? She was confused. Let me think of a way. Tin Nhi was equally worried. Ms. Sam. Can her face really only use this? In her hand was a liquid of orange color. Never mind, she struggled with her thoughts but still decided to use it. Tianhao smirked. Sim, alright, go for it. The duty was suddenly attacked, shocking everyone present. What is happening? It was violently shaken, falling backward. Leetweet and Tin Nhi gasped in astonishment. Is duty pushed back? The fall of duty caused white snowflakes to fly up. Tianhao shouted, let Slim hold it tight. His eyes were bloodshot. The demonic embrace. Tianhao spread his palm wide and then tightened it. The skill of the demonic embrace. The monster was squeezed tightly and screamed in pain. In just a moment it was drained and turned into a skeleton. The system board immediately displayed a message. You have killed Du Lang Hu Bai, the king of wolves. You received experience rewards. Leetweet couldn't hide her excitement. A trembling Du Ti. He actually used his bare hands to crush the level 10 king of wolves, Hu Bai. On top of the zombie, noticing its expression. The duty tightened its weapon in hand. Without hesitation, it struck hard at the frightened duty. They moved forward without fear, one clinging tightly to the back of another. The two of them combined, preparing to unleash the fusion skill, Hu Chue Fong Bao. The legs of the duty braced strongly, holding tight to the snowy ground. It held on to the other tightly and spun around vigorously. Tian Hao frowned. What is this? The dragon fist wind of duty. The vortex they created was enormous. Tin Nhi felt goosebumps all over. This is the fusion skill. How can a low-level monster know how to use a fusion skill? And after the monster fused, both its defense and attack increased significantly. This time, Lam Tian Hao wouldn't be able to withstand it. She shouted, "Lam Tian Hao, be careful." The vortex grew larger as if it wanted to sweep everything around away. Slim sensed the danger and held Tian Hao tightly. He was lifted up high by it. Tian Hao's serious gaze shouted loudly. Slim immediately obeyed the command and approached the vortex with his body. As soon as he touched it, he was cut off. Slim gritted his teeth to resist while Tian Hao gasped for breath. Truly, if it continued like this, he would perish. Lethuit knelt down, crying, not knowing what to do now. Tin Nhi took out a vial of medicine. Gritting her teeth, told Lam Tian Hao that this lady had not permitted him to die. She did not hesitate to pour all the medicine into her mouth. The glass vial containing the medicine fell to the ground and shattered. Tin Ni's whole body erupted with a massive source of power. Her hair stood on end and her red eyes looked very frightening. Lethuit widened her eyes in surprise upon seeing Tin Nhi in bare form. Tin Nhi appeared in a completely different state. She stomped and jumped up forcefully. Tin Nhi bravely lunged into the whirlwind. Lethuit gasped, unable to believe her eyes bare. She was so shocked that her eyes rolled back and she fainted. In front of Lethuit was a giant white bear. I didn't expect this medicine could help me break through to the white bear form. On the side of Tian Hao, he and Slim were still struggling immensely. Her eyes shone brightly. I must hurry to help. Tin Nhi in snow bear form dashed forward the bear-shaped creature. She threw her head back and let out a loud roar. Tian Hao was stunned and turned around. Why was there another monster? He ordered Slim to back off. It looked at Tian Hao intently as if understanding the command. With Slim's help, Tian Hao flew away. Damn it, I can't break free. He panicked when he saw Tin Nhi right above him. It's over, I really have to die here today. Tian Hao tightly closed his eyes as if resigned. After a moment without any reaction, he opened his eyes. Tian Hao was surprised to see his body. Am I okay? The voice of Tin Nhi echoed, catching Tian Hao's attention. Lum Tian Hao, why are you standing there? Why aren't you attacking yet? He exclaimed in surprise to Tin Nhi. Regaining his composure, Tian Hao pointed at Slim, the demon hug. Countless, extremely powerful tentacles spread out. Tin Nhi looked at his state, wide-eyed. Is this the power of Lum Tian? From above, the Duity was preparing to strike down with its hammer. They once again combined, spinning and accelerating. She yelled, Lum Tian Hao, hurry up. It's about to use its fusion technique again. Monty smirked. Do you think I will let you use the same move twice? Slim Tian Hao commanded. The tentacles immediately rushed in tightly, binding the two Duity, preventing them from using their ultimate skill anymore. Tian Hao's gaze was filled with impending punishment, tightening his grip. A huge explosion erupted and the two Duity were shattered. Tin Nhi was delighted. Wonderful, finally knocked them down. Suddenly, her face turned pale, drenched in sweat. Tian Hao landed and spoke. It's cold. Luckily, Tin Nhi came at the right time. Otherwise, I really would have to lie here. He thought, but why have I never seen her transform into a bear before? Tin Nhi looked at her hands, feeling her blood drop to 466. She was taking double punishment. It was almost over. She collapsed, completely drained of energy. Tian Hao panicked and reached out. What's wrong? He anxiously rushed over. Tian Hao helped Tin Nhi up, calling Tin Nhi. Suddenly, She felt pain and coughed up 10 points of blood. So wouldn't just one blow to the head be the end? He took out a vial of medicine and brought it over. Don't worry, I'll give her the medicine right away. After taking the medicine, Tin Ni's bloodline was restored and she gradually became hazy and woke up. Tian Hao breathed a sigh of relief. Luckily, she was okay. He suddenly sensed something. What is this soft thing? Tian Hao's face turned bright red. Here, Tin Nhi. Her disheveled face called softly. Lam Tian Hao looked at Tian Hao's flushed, nosebleed face, making her panic. What's wrong with you? Tin Nhi looked at her naked body and shouted, You pervert. She angrily threw a strong punch at him. Oh my god. It's unfair to me. Tin Nhi quickly left Tian Hao's body and stood up, changing into her outfit, blazing with anger. Lam Tian Hao, you panicked and hurriedly explained, It's because you are like this, it has nothing to do with me. Tin Nhi warned in a threatening tone. If you dare to tell anyone, I will kill you. Looking at her embarrassed face, Tian Hao thought to himself, Is Tin Nhi really embarrassed? She grabbed his collar and pulled hard. What did you hear that? Tian Hao hurriedly waved his hand. Okay, I didn't see anything just now. Tin Nhi immediately stood up. In front of Tian Hao's confusion, her eyes were filled with fierce aura. Watch your mouth or you'll break out in a sweat, this time I'm serious. Tin Nhi coldly turned her back, standing up to see how Lu Tuet was. Tian Hao terrified obeyed. The young lady can rest assured I will keep it buried in my stomach. The two hurriedly ran to where Lu Chui was. At this moment she was sleeping soundly on the ground. Tian Hao breathed a sigh of relief. What a big soul. He sat down and called Lu Chui, awake. Lu Chui, wake up. Bye. Her face was dazed as she woke up from her sleep. She hugged someone frightened and shouted, Don't eat me. Tian Hao spoke to reassure her. If the monster wanted to eat you, it could have spared you until now. Tin Nhi also added, The monster has been eliminated, now it's safe. Lu Tuet was delighted to hear this. Really? He didn't answer but just nodded. Suddenly she rushed to hug Tian Hao tightly. Everyone is not dead, that's great. He blushed and replied. Luckily Tin Nhi acted just in time. Tin Nhi pushed the two away and spoke. Then let's quickly discuss what to do next. Tian Hao said seriously, You must have noticed that the difficulty of Hack Yuan has increased. She nodded. That's right, the number of monsters is greater and even their strength is stronger than before. Lu Tuet worriedly asked, So what should we do now? And he suggested, I think we should withdraw from Hack Yuan first, the current situation is not favorable for us. The two quickly nodded in agreement with Tian Hao's suggestion. I agree, we can't take risks. Agreed. He opened the system panel. Good, leaving the dungeon early will result in a downgrade penalty. Do you confirm you want to exit? Tian Hao did not hesitate to click confirm to retreat. Failure. Lu Tuet and Tin Nhi were astonished. How could this happen? Black Abyss, primary, deep abyss. Hankook, the recommended level is not more than 10 difficulty levels. Nightmare details, he thought in shock. The difficulty of Black Abyss has already changed. Lu Tuet trembled all over. What should we do? Are we unable to retreat, right? Tin Nhi sighed to reassure. What are you afraid of? No matter how hard it is still Black Abyss primary, not something unbeatable. Tian Hao nodded. That's right. The level limit hasn't changed. It's just the difficulty has increased. Lu Tuet exclaimed. But the ordinary monsters just now were already that formidable. How will we fight the boss? Tian Hao then proposed a solution. Anyway, let's level up to 10 first. The faster the better. He thought to himself that he had a bad feeling. Tin Nhi turned away. Lu Tuet? Let's go. She was confused. Aren't we going together? He explained, by separating the three of us we can avoid splitting the experience. At that time the leveling speed will be faster than usual. I won't go to the battlefield, so it's useless for you to follow me. Hearing this, Lu Tuet waved her hand to leave. I understand now. Then let's, after reaching level 10, gather here. Tian Hao also turned back and entered the forest behind. Time passed like that. An hour later. Around him were countless monster corpses. Tian Hao wiped the sweat off his face, finally reaching level 10 crazy. Although the three of us can only reach level 10, Black Abyss has no level limit for summoned creatures. It's just that my summoned creatures need to be sacrificed to level up. The system interface appeared. The attribute increases were still very slow. Could it be due to my profession? It would be great if the leveling process could be accelerated. Having one more summoned beast would alleviate some pressure. I wonder if there's a way in this book. He was full of astonishment. Tian Hao and Slim were surrounded by three monsters standing together under the cliff. Suddenly they heard a loud sound. Oh no, the boss has awakened. Tian Hao hurriedly turned his head back with Slim looking extremely panicked. A loud explosion sound rang out, sending everything flying everywhere. He looked extremely worried, next to Slim commenting that the leader UT had awakened. From within the explosion, a voice echoed, "Help!" Lai Thuyet shouted loudly, Don't. When she saw a large hammer heading towards her, she quickly turned and ran while calling out loudly to Lai Thuyet. Seeing her slip and fall, Tin Gi quickly turned back. She immediately unleashed the cat spirit shadow skill with glowing eyes emitting a beam of blue light, but the attack was too strong for both of them, causing them to be thrown and flung elsewhere. Tin Gi managed to catch her and land safely, but then realized that she had run out of mana. The large weapon hammer was still aimed at the two of them. Tin Gi turned around using all her remaining strength, crossing her arms with sharp iron claws, her hands tensing up. But then she noticed something that changed Lai Thuyet's expression, sweat streaming down her cheeks. The weapon hammer struck her, causing her to lose 2 to 30 power. Over here, Tian Hao was desperately chasing while calling out loudly. Slim timely executed an expanding move using her hair as a large red ribbon to cushion Lai Thuyet and Tin Gi from the force that threw them. Slim was also knocked back a bit. As Tian Hao arrived, he quickly asked loudly, "Are you okay?" He hurried to support Tin Gi with a worried expression. She only had enough strength to cough once. Lai Thuyet lay motionless with vacant eyes next to Slim. At this moment, Tin Gi looked down at her hand and said, "I can't feel my hand anymore." Her gaze was filled with pity as she looked at the trembling wound on Lai Thuyet's arm. From behind, a towering whirlwind was approaching. He turned his head abruptly, gritting his teeth as he stared directly at the whirlwind. From within the whirlwind, a pair of large purple legs appeared on the ground, and 4 red eyes high above were looking at him. After the smoke of the whirlwind dissipated almost entirely, the leader Duthie truly appeared. At this moment, Tian Hao shouted, "Be careful. This leader Duthie is much stronger than before." Indeed, it no longer resembled a monster, it looked more like a human. The leader Duthie had evolved to level 10, transforming from a corpse into one with the power of darkness. It hides in the valley and attacks passing travelers. The crystal on its chest could be its weak point. Seeing this, she told Lam Tian Hao, "You can't defeat it, hurry and run." Before she could finish her sentence, the leader Duthie flew high, roared loudly, and advanced toward everyone. Tian Hao stood up with great power, proclaiming, "Now it's too late to run." All three got into a fighting stance. Numbers in his head were not adding up correctly. Even if it was a nightmare difficulty, it was still just a beginner boss of the abyss. As long as they could break the crystal core on its chest, there would be a glimmer of hope. The leader Duthie pointed a finger at everyone, and from behind a pack of wolves and his minions charged forward. With a determined gaze, Tian Hao shouted, "Slim, use the demon dance skill." She swiftly glided past the leader's minions, all of them melting away. Slim charged straight at the leader. He swung his arm, holding the large hammer back to gather momentum. "You," shouted loudly, "full body skill." At this moment, Slim split into 2 equal parts, then formed a circle surrounding the leader's lock within it. Slim was using all its strength to form the circle to lock the leader down. Suddenly, a hammer came crashing down onto its circle, causing it to lose 700 health points. Tian Hao shouted from a distance in panic, "What is under the weapon's angle of the leader?" Slim was trying to escape its path. An explosion rang out and a red ribbon fell. Slim was thrown far away, landing in a nearby rock crevice. You quickly summoned Slim back. At this moment, Tian Hao realized that it was not good. Slim was completely no match for it. The leader raised his weapon high, and from the ground his minions emerged. Tian Hao murmured, "I just saw the acceleration summoning spell, so I can only try it first." He stood up, opened the book, and began to chant. A green whirlwind gathered around Tian Hao, and an egg appeared. At that moment, a pack of wolves and the leader's minions rushed towards him. Seeing this, Tian Hao shouted, "Oh no!" Suddenly, from somewhere, claw paths appeared, causing the wolves to howl. She rushed in to shield him and shouted, "Lam Tian Hao." As she shielded him, blood was also spat from her mouth. Tian Hao called out loudly, "Thursday Tin Nhi." At this moment, the leader was right in front of them, raising his weapon high, ready to strike down on them. Tian Hao continued to chant, but thought to himself, "Sover, there's no time." Suddenly, a golden light appeared to deflect the leader's attack. A crack appeared in the ground, along with a beam of light. Tian Hao was bound by the light, raising his hand to shield his face, questioning, "Is this her?" At this moment, she stood up and proclaimed, "Defensive light circle." Tian Hao, with a surprised expression, faced the fierce look of the leader. She urgently said, "Captain, hurry up. My defensive light circle is only level 1. Can't hold for long." Tian Hao quickly turned back to chant, thinking, "Hurry up." The leader did not give them another moment of respite. He swung his weapon, shattering Li Tui's defensive light circle. Immediately, she completely lost her vitality, collapsing to the ground. At that moment, Tian Hao's egg began to stir. The shell had cracked. Slim was now trying to use its last bit of strength to throw a red ribbon to hold the leader's hand back. Tian Hao raised 2 fingers to his mouth, completing the chant just as Slim was cut by the leader and sent flying away. Just as the leader swung his weapon again, a beam of blue light appeared from Tian Hao, along with a magic sphere and blue rays spreading around, blinding the leader and causing him to drop his weapon. "You, with a radiant face and a smile, have you succeeded already?" A one-horned unicorn with white fur, a smooth blue mane, and a brilliant light shining from its horn appeared, which only made the leader angrier. Ice patches appeared around the leader's body. Ting Yi shouted loudly, "Leader Du Tai has entered stage 2. Lam Tian Hao, hurry up." Tian Hao did not listen and turned back to order. "Unicorn, hurry up." The unicorn stopped, lightly scraping its horn with its foot, creating a swirling light. The beam of light from the unicorn's horn shot straight at the leader's evolving chest, targeting his weak point and breaking the ice covering the crystal, shattering it. The unicorn kept running in circles. Ting Yi was surprised by what just happened. How could a boss with 30,000 health be defeated so easily? You hurried to the unicorn. "Are you okay?" Only a few drops of sweat appeared on the unicorn's face as it looked at Tian Hao. The special system panel for the Frostbone unicorn appeared. "You just patted the unicorn's head. Amazing leader, the Du Ti group has been defeated. Unicorn, you are truly impressive." Slim then jumped up and hugged you. "Tian Hao, you contributed too. If you hadn't stopped leader Du Ti at the last moment, I would have been turned into minced meat by now." "That's right, are you all okay? I didn't expect to be saved by you this time. This is your new summoned beast." She said, "A level 1 beast can defeat the boss leader Du Ti. That's really terrifying." Tian Hao replied, "I didn't know its damage could be so high. You said that leader Du Ti is a dark attribute monster while this unicorn is a light icebone summoned beast. If it can deal such high damage, then it must be due to the attribute advantage." Tian Hao rested his chin on his hand. "So that's how it is." Looking around, the leader's subordinates had been rotting. The story appears congratulations to the exploration team for successfully defeating the boss leader Du Ti. The rewards are being assessed. Tian Hao held himself when he saw the new notification. This is him looking around. Only darkness remained beside him. Suddenly a mysterious gift box appeared. The system panel displayed the name of the equipment spirit box of the dungeon. No way, why do the attack and defense of this legendary equipment still have negative attributes? Tianhao suddenly realized, oh wait, this is the system panel showing active effects. 1, 2, 3, 4, and introducing the summon spirit to join the battle. Can it also connect the souls of the deceased with the summoned creatures? What does this mean? Above, a streak of light flashed right in front of him and shone directly into the equipment box. The system panel announced that the soul of the nightmare level leader +1, the soul of leader Du Ti, was actually brought in. It seems that after some time following the battle, souls can be collected from somewhere. A white wolf lunged straight at and tackled Tianhao to the ground. Then it transformed back into its original form. Tianhao stammered, Toto Tingyi, you smiled mischievously to scare me, didn't you? Tianhao felt embarrassed. I thought there was still a monster. By the way, aren't you a spirit cat? How can you transform into a wolf? She replied softly, do you think you're the only one with hidden equipment rewards? I have one too. She revealed her equipment, which was the feather of the immortal bird. Tianhao couldn't believe his eyes. No way. Both the attack power and speed doubled. Yeah, it's clearly just bright level equipment, but why does it feel even more powerful than mine? The system panel displayed the passive effect and active effect notifications. 1, 2, 3, Immortal Warrior. What is this? Tingyi ran while saying she didn't know either, but then read that it had a side effect, so I didn't dare to use it recklessly. The battle just ended, so to be safe it's best not to use it. A voice called out, causing both of them to turn around. Lam Tianhao and To Tingyi saw Li Tuet appear with a small, flying spirit beast beside her. She hurriedly asked, what is this? Tuet said boldly, Lam Tianhao, To Tingyi, from now on, I can protect you both. The spirit beast of Li Tuet flew and perched on her hat. Li Tuet cheerfully said, this is the new equipment that just dropped. It looks a bit strong, doesn't it? The system panel displayed the equipment named Cyclone's magic hat. She saw Tianhao sigh and wondered, Cyclone? Who is that? Why have I never heard of it before? Tingyi responded, I haven't heard of it either. After we leave the dungeon, they'll go to school and ask the teacher. Then she turned to look at the system panel. Passive effect 1 million, exchange a protective spirit, all magic effects triple, and the kit will actively attack. Cyclone surprised Tianhao. Isn't it Cyclone? This passive effect is too powerful. He looked a bit disappointed compared to it. His prison training gear was much weaker. From a distance, the ice-bone unicorn and Slim approached Tianhao, patting its head happily. Fortunately, we have you, otherwise we would have been doomed this time. The ice-bone unicorn coldly turned away, passing by Li Tuet, ignoring her, patting its head so soft. Really soft. Tingyi, seeing this, pouted, hey, why can't I pet it? He awkwardly laughed and tried to ease the situation. Alright, let's head out first. The difficulty of the abyss this time suddenly increased. We don't even know what's really happening. She crossed her arms and huffed, opening the system panel. Tianhao pressed the exit button. A magic circle appeared beneath their feet. In an instant they all vanished. Tianhao and his group were quickly transported outside. The people outside saw and discussed, someone is coming out that's really beautiful. A person with a flushed face, a nosebleed, said, it's really beautiful, just like a fairy. Tianhao looked at them with a head full of question marks. He scratched his cheek and looked back. Suddenly, a girl with an extremely beautiful appearance was looking over. Tianhao was startled, had a nosebleed and stammered, girl, that is Kylan Bangsung, bashfully asked, Master, don't you recognize me? He was completely confused. You are Kylan. On another side, a group of people were busy treating injuries. Teacher, no, it's not good. The homeroom teacher asked worriedly, what happened? Speak slowly. The student pointed. There is someone coming out from the Black Abyss dungeon. He was surprised. Is anyone injured? The homeroom teacher's face became serious, placing a hand on his shoulder. You guys follow me. Let's seize the moment. Suddenly, the student grabbed his hand. No, there are no injuries but a survivor. The homeroom teacher was astonished. What? Suddenly, in front of all these people, a system notification appeared. Congratulations Lum Tien Hao to Tin Nhi and Lutuet have passed the Deep Abyss Valley Nightmare difficulty level. Kylan Bangsung gently bowed to greet her master. Tien Hao hurriedly waved his hand. No, stop, don't come over here. She ran over and grabbed his hand. Master, don't you need me? Tien Hao panicked. What is it? Speak slowly, don't touch. Lutuet pulled Tin Ni's hand. Tin Nhi looked over and saw Tien Hao's hand placed in an inappropriate spot. Tin Nhi became angry. Lum Tien Hao, you perverted name. And saying that she scratched him a few times. Tien Hao hugged his face and cried. Lutuet sat down and spoke. Lum Tien Hao, are you okay? Do you need me to cast a healing spell? He was happy to be treated by her. Lutuet is still good, unlike some violent woman. Lutuet blushed when she heard that. No way. Isn't it normal to support each other among team members? Tin Nhi supported Kylan Bangsung. Seeing her uncomfortable expression made him suspicious. Kylan, what's wrong with you? From a distance, a group of 3 people was walking closer. Fong Van, with a serious face, spoke as the principal. Tien Hao's group frowned. Fong Van, why is he here? What about the unexpected visitor? Lutuet raised her hand and shouted, we're here. Suddenly, a mysterious group rushed forward and hugged everyone. He instinctively sensed something unusual and looked back. That was the homeroom teacher's group. He signaled to be quiet. Showed don't let them find out. Tin Nhi became angry, shouting, who are you? You hurriedly reassured, calm down. Calm down, he is my homeroom teacher. A young man smiled awkwardly. Tien Hao asked suspiciously, homeroom teacher, what is going on? He replied seriously, to put it simply, the Black Abyss has been violent, causing numerous casualties. Moreover, it seems that the main culprit is you. He looked confused and pointed at himself. Me? The homeroom teacher pointed to the icebone unicorn and said, your summoned beast is a unicorn, right? You signed the contract in the Black Abyss, didn't you? Tien Hao scratched his cheek and replied, that's right. But how did you know? The homeroom teacher frowned. Indeed, you signed the contract and moreover it has hatched. He thought to himself, that old bastard, you got me in trouble. The homeroom teacher became serious. Kid, you're done, he panicked. What do you mean? What should I do now, teacher? From behind, 2 figures appeared. We found you. A group of people surrounded Tien Hao's group, all looking fierce. Fong Van pointed and commanded, catch them. The group quickly charged forward at the command. The homeroom teacher shouted loudly beside, who dares? He coldly waved his hand. What are you doing here? Step aside. He became conciliatory. Junior brother, please let me explain. After all, they are all students of our school, right? Tien Hao was surprised as the homeroom teacher and the principal brothers. Fong Van pointed and said loudly, from now on it won't be like this anymore. I declare that Lam Tien Hao, to Tin Nhi and Lai Thuyet are expelled from school. All 3 were stunned to hear this. What? No way, he continued to shout loudly. I declare the expulsion of the 3. The students. Tin Nhi shouted angrily. On what basis? Fong Van coldly said, on my basis. I am your principal. She was left speechless upon hearing that. Teacher Tien Hao stepped forward interjecting, Principal, is it reasonable to expel us without a clear investigation? The homeroom teacher added, that's right, junior brother. Even if you are the principal, you can't randomly take people away. He pointed at him. Moreover, he has level talent, a once-in-a-century genius. Do you want to eliminate such a good seed? Fong Van resolutely pushed the homeroom teacher away. Step aside, what do you know? Today I must take them away. He gritted his teeth, thinking that if he didn't hurry, it would be too late. The crowd, filled with momentum, pressed in close when suddenly a voice rang out, startling Fong Van. Wait. He turned around at the call and saw Tien Hao's group also looking at the person who just spoke from afar with great surprise. A small framed person walked over. Tien Jiao spoke. Is this the summoner who has overcome the nightmare level difficulty? The figure looks quite good, doesn't it? You scratch your head in confusion. Is it a younger sister? I heard that and angrily shouted, Younger sister, basically, I am the princess of the Dauphin and royal family. Tian Zhao. Tian Hao stroked his chin and assessed the royal family Dauphin. I have no impression of that. Fong then shyly approached. Miss and the suspect has been restrained and will now be taken for questioning. Tian Zhao waved his hand. No need, let them go. The maid stepped up and said, This is the scroll to teleport to Hakengwin, the Rift Valley. We will take them into Hakengwin.